Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvase Sasunyavadi Paskyata Deshitarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakopa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna. So I really want to thank Vaisheshika Prabhu and all of you for being so inspired, so enlivened to distribute the books of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I think all of us should know very well in our hearts how pleased Srila Prabhupada was to know that his books were being distributed by his followers. He himself set the example of distributing books. And when he heard his books were going out, it made him feel so enlivened, so youthful, so ready to go on with his incredible service of translating and commenting on the scriptures. So I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about Live to Give, this poetic motto for this year. And we can understand that where there's life, where things are living, it means the soul is present there. If there's no soul, then it's simply dull matter, lifeless matter. So where the soul is present, that soul is something extraordinary. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the soul is amazing. And it's to consider that the soul is not only eternal, not only full of knowledge, and not only blissful, but also because it's an integral part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it has many of His qualities in a minute degree. In the Nectar of Devotion, we find Krishna's qualities enumerated at 64, and the soul has up to 50 of those qualities. It is truly amazing. So where there is the soul, these qualities are there, along with consciousness, with life. And another quality of the soul that we hear about in Bhagavad Gita is that it is always active. By nature, it's active. And Prabhupada quite elaborately describes the nature of that activity in his introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. He says that by its nature, the Atma, the soul, wants to serve. The soul's natural activity is to serve. And when we look around us with that knowledge in mind, we see everyone is interacting in the name of service. Prabhupada gives the example, the teachers serve the students serve the teachers, the businessman serves the customers, the husband serves the wife serves the husband. The children serve the parents, and so on and so forth. The parents serve the children. Just in simple interactions in everyday life, if we have a problem with our car, we go to the car repair shop, we take that service to repair our car, and then there's an additional activity, and that is reciprocation. So the souls are by nature serving. That's what we do. And also by our nature, we reciprocate with the service that's given to us. Krishna mentions this in Bhagavad Gita. He says that as everyone surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. So this idea of reciprocation for the activity of the soul of service is natural within us. We want to reciprocate. And if there's some lack in reciprocation, that is actually called exploitation. Just like we're learning today, we're studying recently at the Bhaktivedanta Manor, we're studying the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada there describes that these wonderful animals that Krishna loves so much, the cow, their service is to provide milk. They provide more milk than their calf requires, and that milk comes to humans. That's an incredible service because milk is such a valuable substance. And we're supposed to reciprocate with this service by protecting the cows. And if we don't, that's exploitation. That's something we want to avoid at all costs. So we take service and we reciprocate with service. And if we look now to the spiritual example of this, that's also there very much in a very primary verse of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So here we're enjoined by the Lord to approach a spiritual master, to inquire from that person submissively, to be submissive to that person. That's the pranipatena. And pariprashnena is the inquiry. And then the third element is sevaya, service. And in response to these qualities of coming with submission, coming with inquiry, and serving, then the spiritual master gives knowledge to the disciple. So this is the exchange. Sometimes people who are not aware of the guru-disciple relationship may see, oh, this person is receiving so much service, and it may look like exploitation. And they do not realize that actually the guru is serving the disciple by giving knowledge, invaluable knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And that knowledge gives life, spiritual life to the disciple. So we have live to give. So by his potency, the spiritual master gives spiritual life to the disciple through the knowledge. And Krishna speaks with analogies in terms of the power of this knowledge. He says, for example, it's compared to a fire. The knowledge is compared to a fire because it can burn up our karma. That's the potency of the knowledge given by the spiritual master. It can burn up the karma that's accumulated for unlimited number of years in the disciple. It's also knowledge is compared to a boat because that knowledge can carry us across this world of miseries, the suffering that's in this world inherent in the material world because everything is gradually being destroyed and changing. So it's a world of suffering, but if we're situated on this boat of knowledge given by the Guru, we're carried across this ocean of suffering. Also, of course, it's compared to light. We say, Om Agyana Tamarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So the spiritual master opens the eyes of the disciples, which are closed tight in the darkness of ignorance, and he does this with the light of knowledge. And knowledge is also compared to a sword, in that we may have so many doubts when we come to the Guru. But with this sword of knowledge, you can slash those doubts so that we're freed of them. We can progress on the path of spiritual life without obstacles. So it's unlimitedly powerful gift that Prabhupada is giving us. And he was dedicated, as we know, to giving us this knowledge and the wisdom and his example of how to apply it practically in everyday life. So we cannot estimate the value of this gift, and actually we cannot repay this gift. If we think we can repay this gift, we're considered a laughing stock. But we can try, we can use what little talent we have, what energy we have, whatever words we can conjure up to try to repay this invaluable gift. And indeed, we want to do this. We want to reciprocate. If we have even a small idea of the value of Srila Prabhupada's gift, we really want to do something in return, because we know as a result of receiving this knowledge, we're being saved from the cycle of birth and death. It's something so amazing. So the least we can do is to do a little bit to reciprocate with the gift. This is human life. This is civilized life. And of course, there's a whole plethora of ways to reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada's gift. It wasn't that it was hard to please him. He was pleased when he saw his followers chanting Hare Krishna, just as we had these beautiful young devotees chanting before this program started. And that would please Prabhupada. He would be pleased when he saw people chanting attentively. So it's not hard, but he was especially pleased when he saw his books being distributed by his followers. This gave him, as he said, new life. I happened to be present in San Francisco when a reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, what will happen to you when you die? And Prabhupada shot back, I will never die. I live in my books and you shall utilize. So we utilize the books by absorbing ourselves in them, as Visakha Prabhu is so much encouraging us to do, to read a given amount of pages every day, as you are all well aware, to discuss those, and then to share it with others. So I can't thank him enough. I'm so grateful to him. I do hope and pray that he will come to Bhaktivedanta Manor and enliven us all with his personal presence. And I'm so grateful that he's being so active for this book marathon, getting us all together to serve Prabhupada in this way.